A 1999 bestseller and longtime film project finally comes to the big screen. Hello to everyone, and thanks once again for returning to RealScreenReviews.com. I am movie critic Nick Yacobucci, and our next movie review is The Perks of Being a Wallflower. This teenage drama opened in limited release on Friday, September 14th, 2012, and will expand to a wider audience on September 21st. Perks stars Logan Lerman, Emma Watson, and Ezra Miller, and comes to us from director Steven Chbosky. This quality screenwriter and novelist now sits in the director's chair for the first time involving a major release, and he at last brings his own novel to life. This tale tells of a high school teenager struggling with acceptance, coping with first love, and just trying to find a place to belong. In this story, our main character Charlie is taken under the wing of two others named Sam and Patrick, and together the three of them are trying to discover the real world. Well, people, just over 3 years ago, we lost an amazing and wonderful talent known as John Hughes, but I am very happy to report that he has been reincarnated as writer-director Steven Chbosky, or maybe this is just his illegitimate child. Mr. Chbosky not only seems to encompass the same talent in his pen, but he also seems to have that uncanny ability to connect with younger actors and get the absolute best that they have to offer. I would actually go so far as to say that not only is this story a little deeper than a John Hughes film, but it's also a tad bit darker than the average John Hughes film. Then, even though I never saw any kind of year displayed in Perks, the use of mixtapes definitely puts it in the past. Then, speaking of mixtapes and Mr. Hughes, this film features not only great music, the likes of The Smiths, Dexy's Midnight Runners, and David Bowie, among others, but their songs are strategically placed in perfect moments in this film. Now, this is a person directing their own adapted screenplay from their own novel, and that couldn't be more prevalent. Now, I never read the novel, but minor research has told me that this gentleman was smart enough to trim and cut exactly what was necessary to keep the narrative flowing properly and continuous. Even though this story centers on characters that are young adults, they are always real people with real problems. Perks is tough enough to tackle issues as mature as death, mental illness, and drugs and alcohol. This film takes the whole story set around teenagers and takes it to an entire level above Twilight or The Hunger Games. To me, Twilight has always just incorporated teens or young adults into that story, but Perks, however, is an actual story about young adults and their struggles. You feel the pain of these kids, and most importantly, you can easily identify with pieces of all of the characters. All I can say is that I'm finally very happy that Logan Lerman has shown me some quality acting in a lead role on the big screen. Now, I have seen him give decent performances in films portraying smaller roles, and he was good in the TV movie A Painted House, but both Percy Jackson and The Three Musketeers were not good films, and neither showcased his talent. In this film, as Charlie, not only does he get to show a wide berth of range, but he also embellishes his character in emotion and feeling. Emma Watson was also perfect as Sam. Here, she sheds the persona of Hermione utterly and completely, but you do actually hear her from time to time. The chemistry between Lerman and Watson was also spot on, and they worked extremely well together. Then the character of Patrick was also well cast and beautifully acted by Ezra Miller. No matter the time nor place that anyone went to high school, there was always a person like Patrick around. The person that always seems to be hiding their own inner turmoil within an outsourced theatrical bravado, and in Perks, Patrick is a character that is hilarious when he needs to be, but much more than a comic relief. The slow reveal of character development gives you an intimate feel of these individuals, as well as a sense that you actually know them. Now, you may not know them personally, but you knew them when you were in school, and that is, of course, unless it was you in school. The rest of the cast was also strong in Dylan McDermott, Mae Whitman, Paul Rudd, and Kate Walsh. At right around 1 hour and 40 minutes, The Perks of Being a Wallflower was not only a nice slice of life, but it was also a welcome breath of fresh air. I truly loved all of the Pittsburgh locations and thought that the Burgh also gave it even a more authentic feel. Other teenage films might get bits and pieces of the project right, but usually miss when taken on a whole. American Pie is funny, but maybe a little too raunchy here and there. High School Musical is much too wishy-washy, and the Bring It On films I can barely even stomach. However, this film seems to be the perfect balance of humor and seriousness, drama and fortitude, and emotion and realism. This is a great film, and I infinitely loved almost every moment of it. Nick's Real Screen Review is a very highly recommended 3.5 stars out of 4, and that's for the wonderful coming-of-age drama known as The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I'm afraid that's all I have for right now. If you've enjoyed this review, please click the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet already, or share this review with friends. I'm sure that I'll be returning soon enough with more movie news and reviews, and until then, remember people, I'm not always right, but but only when it comes to the movies, and thank you very much for your attention.